What's up, good people? Welcome to the Bro Code Show. It's your boy, Bro Troy, aka Mr. YM4C, but better known as Coach TJ. And tonight is the first night of our series celebrating dope dads, and we're gonna be doing that all month long. So tonight's show is sponsored by my man Reggie Winston. He's owner of the barbershop, which is located at 4551 New Bern Avenue, Suite 180 in Raleigh, North Carolina. Now check out the barbershop for all of your premier grooming services, and don't forget to ask about their monthly memberships to save you both time and money. Now, for those who are new to the Bro Code Show, the Bro Code Show is a live talk show created to discuss, uncover, justify, and dismantle the issues that concern us most as brothers, as family, and as a community. And we like to give that to you raw, uncut, and real respectful. Now, our greatest desire is to embrace everyone in positive, popular conversations. So no, not in the business of bashing or belittling anyone, but we do believe in being comfortable with having uncomfortable conversations, because that's where understanding starts. So as my grandmother would say, let's chew the meat and spit out the bone. Real quick, I need some help. So for all of y'all tuning in on YouTube, appreciate you guys. Continue to hit that notification bell. If not, go to YM4C TV. Hit that notification bell. Hit the subscribe bell. Why? Because you want to know when we go live, because that's how we do. Please help us build that Instagram. Go to @BroCodeShow right now and like and share with everybody. So, fellas, man, it's been a while, man. We've been off for like 2 weeks, man. It felt a little different too, man. I was like, hold on, we ain't got a show today.
Yeah.
At the calendar, we don't. It was five Sundays, but in May, man, it was my birthday month, man. It felt good, man. So the whole month of May was pretty dope, bro. We did some amazing things, both individually and collectively as a group, as the Bro Code, man. But JC, man, how you feeling, man? Talk to me.
No, I feel real good, man. I feel real good. And Troy, I got to say, you look very good for 50. I know you celebrate. People will never know it. But
hey, man, they say black don't crack, player.
Nah, I'm joking. I hope you had a good birthday, man. I'm feeling good. No complaints, man. Life is moving in a good direction.
That's what's up, man. One at a time, bro. One at a time. Kirk, what's good, man? Excuse me, bro. Kirk, what's good, man? How you feeling?
Hey, I'm feeling good, man. I'm liking your background. I see you down there at ATL. Hope all is well with you, Troy, man. Good to see you. Yeah, I'm feeling great. Other than I missed that AMC trade, so I can't be honest. I can't hold back. I missed it. I saw it at $9 and I didn't move. So yeah. I missed it.
It's not too late to get in some options plays. We may talk.
We're talking about that.
I like it, fellas. Well, tonight's a little different, but then again, it's not, man. We talk about having special guests, man, but tonight's really the squad, man. We really adding a layer, if you may, to this thing called Dope Dads. Obviously, June is Father's Day, and we want to make sure that the fathers are celebrated, and we want to do it our way. So first and foremost, man, we got the man with the plan. This is Mr. Funny Man himself. Now, he goes by Genius Jones, a.k.a. Papa Jones. But on his driver's license, Sherod Jones. Fellas, help us bring to the stage, man, to my man, Genius Jones. Jones, what's good, brother? Jones, you got to get off of mute, man. We started off with the comedy, right? You got to get off of mute. Hold on. Yeah.
Oh, we here. We made it. I got my apple juice. Y'all good?
We good, man. How you feeling, Doc?
Man, I can't complain, man. Everything's moving in the right direction. I mean, life is life. We just live and learn as we go.
That's it, man. One at a time, man. So for the people listening, man, who's Genius Jones, bro?
I mean, dad, comedian, actor, writer, amongst a whole bunch of other things. Whatever you want to put there, I'm gonna leave it blank, and then I'll put it there.
I can dig it, man.
All the above.
I can dig it, man. All of the above, man. We are some indeed dope dads, man. So I got my man with the plan, man. Now this dude right here, man, he's a big homie. Now he goes by the name of the Gent. Right now, he's the Gent himself. Now, really, I think it was a couple years back, I called him Mr. What Don't You Do? Now, a lot of people know him as Robert McKiver. A lot of people know him as Random Road. But for me, he's a brother and a friend, man. Introduced to the stage, my man, Random Road. Rob, what's good, bro? What's good, man? How you feeling, man?
I'm very well, man. I'm better than blessed. How are you guys?
Better than blessed. I could dig it. That deserves it. Right? What's good,
What's
man?
going on, man? Oh, we got the whole fam. Okay.
Yeah, man. It's squad.
Yeah.
Man, you squad
Yeah.
up today, man.
Yeah.
Indeed.
Yes, sir.
Wow.
Salute.
Hey, man, for those that don't know Rob or maybe not be familiar, man, who is Robert McKiver at the core?
Oh man, dope dad for one. Like that is my most important rule and mantra in life. I think you coined the phrase, Mr. What don't you do? Or what do you say? What don't you do? Or does everything something to that effect, right?
What doesn't he do? Mr. What doesn't he do? Right.
That part. Yeah. So I kind of adopted that, man. Just moving through life, man. I decided to start living versus just being alive. So here we are, man.
That's it, man. One at a time, bro.
Yes, sir.
I can dig that, man.
Absolutely.
Hey, so it's about to go down, bro. Smith, what you got, bro?
Oh man, I'm trying to learn a lot from you all as far as the dads. You know, I'm a dad to some dogs, but that's about it at the present moment. So this whole month we get to celebrate the awesome fathers out there. We get to start with not only some of the coolest brothers out there, but no disrespect to any of the awesome moms, but fathers, like mothers, are pillars in the development of a child's emotional well-being. You know, children, as you all know, they look to their fathers to lay down the rules and enforce them. They also look to their fathers to provide a feeling of security, you know, both physical and emotional. And children want to make their fathers proud, and an involved father promotes inner growth and strength. Now, we've all heard about this stereotype, though, of Black fathers is absent and Black children as fatherless. You know, and like many racial stereotypes, for whatever reason, it just refuses to die. You know, the idea that racial disparities in education, employment, income, incarceration, and more can be blamed not on structural racism, but on this absence of Black fathers has been parroted by pundits and politicians alike. And the media doesn't necessarily help. You know, it brings to the forefront this reputation of absentee fathers, despite all of the social inequities that the Black community continues to face. Now, there are a lot of myths that should be addressed and dispelled related to Blacks in general and Black dads in particular. You know, research tells us, however, that Black fathers are engaged, deeply engaged with their children. And physical separation is not always synonymous with lack of father involvement. So why does all this matter? You know, it's because it's not enough to discuss Black fatherhood without also understanding the context within which Black men operate. That's why promoting responsible fatherhood is more important now than ever. It's why we're going to spend a number of different episodes talking about it, because the world's demanding positive change, and Black fathers need to be at the helm of that change. If Black fathers are lifted up, I fully believe that Black families are going to be stronger. And so we get to break bread with some dope dads and some even doper people. I'm going to jump into my first question for the group to go around. And, you know, it's based off of TV. You know, for some of us, our ideal TV dad takes us back to a whole other era. You know, whether it's Carl Winslow from Family Matters, Mike Brady from the Brady Bunch, James Evans from Good Time. Television has shaped our collective idea of what it means to be a dad. So, Rob, I want to toss it out to you, man. Who is your favorite TV dad?
Oh man, without question, Bill Cosby. Like listen, I know whatever's going on with that whole situation, that's irrelevant. But the vision in which Bill Cosby on the Cosby Show, man. So you have a doctor and a lawyer, and then all successful kids, all successful in their own right. Like, to me, that was the picture. I mean, you gotta understand, like, all the stuff that came off or as a result of the Cosby Show. You have A Different World, you have Martin, you have Family, you have all these other shows in which you mentioned, Family Matters and everything that came behind that, all of which put the father in the main role of positivity. And you know, just being that strong backbone of the family. So to me, man, without a doubt, it will be Bill Cosby from the Cosby Show. But Bill Cosby from the Cosby Show, easily. That's not even a question, man.
All right. Now, I'm gonna go to let's see, Sherod or Genius. Excuse me. Who's your favorite TV dad?
Yeah, no pun intended. For me, my era, I would say it's a close lean between two, but definitely Uncle Phil from Fresh Prince, and then my second one would be John Witherspoon and Everything, Wayne's brothers, if you talk about TV shows. And talk about Fresh Prince, Uncle Phil from Fresh Prince, because I think he embodied the fact that he was able to take Will in without being his blood child, and that was real huge. And him coming from that area, and him bringing him in, and really helping to develop him, and not even really like a stepdad. So it was huge on that level. So that was my two, I would say. John Witherspoon on Everything, and
Yeah.
Uncle Phil, Fresh Prince.
How about you, Kirk? Who you going with?
So my first answer was Bill Cosby. There's no Rob hit it on the regardless of what's going on in his life. Back then, that's who it was. And you could throw Phil, like Sherod said too, Uncle Phil, same thing, but also bring in another person. So, but I guess I gotta go with real life now. My favorite TV dad would be I'm gonna go now, and I'm gonna go LeBron. What I see him doing with his children, man, is nothing but great for everything that he's doing, and he's still out there doing what a dad should do. So I'm gonna go with LeBron.
Okay. All right. Troy, who you rolling with?
Oh man, you guys said some great folks, man. I think from an iconic perspective, I love me some James Evans. When we talk about that old school dad, like not playing, and you talked about my background, Kirk, and where I'm at is in my grandparents' house, and that hits a little different for me. Clearly, me and you, Rob, had the whole Nana conversation, but I instantly think of my grandfather, man. I get chills, bro. I'm 20 feet away from the same belt that used to get me. You know what I mean? So, yeah, James Evans, and then sorry about the phone. I can't help that. When you talk about a new school dad, the one from my wife and kids, one of the Waynes,
Damon Wayne.
Yeah, Dave. Yeah, I like him, man. I like him. I like the way that he flows with the kids, man. How about you, Jay?
My old school favorite dad was Carl Winslow. He had to put up with Urkel, all the craziness going there with his daughter Laura, the police drama, and he always had a knack for bringing a lesson home. From a new school dad perspective, I'm gonna go a different angle. I'm gonna go Andre Dre Johnson from Blackish. He had that whole father of five thing down to a science, but when a serious conversation needed to happen, he had a way of leveling with his kids for some pretty powerful heart-to-heart conversations.
I like that. Yeah, that's good. What you got, Kirk?
So let's turn to some funny moments. I want to start with Genius. You the comedian in the group. Share with us a funny moment from your childhood, if you don't mind. And this is gonna be a question for everybody, but we'll start with Genius.
All right, so before I get into that, Kirk, your answer was qualified. LeBron is not a TV dad. Just put that out there for everybody to know. Kirk answer don't count. You gotta go with a TV dad. LeBron ain't a TV dad. Anyway, you gotta pick another one. Kirk. Later on, my fondest memory I remember is probably about a week before report cards came out. I was like fourth grade or whatever, and my mom said that if you brought home E's on your report card, or if you brought home anything lower than the C, you're gonna get a whoop. This is about 2 weeks out. So I knew that I already had all E's and D's. And so I had everything on my report card said Eddie without the Y. So I had all these bad grades on my report card 2 weeks out. So I'm preparing in my mind what I'm going to do. And the day comes, report cards come, and I get home and I'm waiting and I'm thinking, and something in my mind told me that I need to protect myself. I don't know how bad the whooping was going to be. She might use the black belt or the brown belt. The black belt was a little thicker. So I said, all right, let me brace myself. So I went in my closet and I put on every pair of pants that I had. Sweatshirt. When she came out there to whoop me, I looked like a snowman. She got the whooping on me and I'm just looking at her like, yeah. She was hitting me. I'm eating the punch. I'm eating them. She found out that I had about 25 pair of pants on and 16 shirts. And then I got women for real. I got stripped butt naked. And then, after that, I wasn't able to sit down for a while. I think the belt hit me in my eye, mouth, everything. Everything was hurt. I missed about a week of school after that because, other than that, man, that was it, man. You know, that's my fondest memory. You know, probably my worst whooping. It's all good, but yeah, when she found out I had 16 pair of pants on, man, she whooped the skin off my leg.
Hey, I'm sure everybody in the room has a whooping a comment, but Rob, people don't know this about you. All right, you're a comedian too, low key. It's like right. So genius gets on stages, but you do your thing behind closed doors. So share with us a funny moment from your childhood.
Man, you know, it's funny, man. It wasn't a whooping story, but it should have been. Because my nana would always tell me, don't chew gum. And then I'm gonna bring it all together because now you guys will be able to recognize what I'm talking about. My nana would always tell me, don't chew gum before you go to bed, or don't have gum in your mouth before you go to bed. Me being a little nuisance that I was, what did I do? Chew gum right before I went to bed. At this time, I had like a little frock. Wasn't even like it wasn't like low, but it wasn't a fro. It was like a little frock, like a little Fraggle Rock, right? Wake up in the morning, mats everywhere. And I'm not talking like regular gum. I'm talking like remember the big league chew gum that was in a pack that stuck to everything like glue? So it's all in my head. So my nana found out, and she didn't whoop me. She just went down to the store, got some peanut butter. I don't know, she got some peanut butter, and she literally raked all of the gum out of my head. So for the longest time, I had like these patches in my head, right? So if you guys ever notice, I always have on a hat. Now I'm good now. Like, I mean, I'm good. I ain't bothered, I ain't receding, ain't nothing. But subconsciously, all I can remember is them patches in my head, bro. And yeah, but that's one of my fondest childhood memories. I probably should have got a whooping. But that's why I always have on the hat, and I never chew gum. Like if you guys notice, I always have mitts. I never chew gum. So it's tough.
So you got gum trauma. Is what you're saying?
I like I never chew gum, and I always have on the hat. Yeah. So you can put it together just like that, man.
Love it, Troy. What you got for us? What's your story?
Hey man, you know, Ro, now you got a new nickname, man. We're gonna call you Chewy. Right? That's gonna be your new nickname. Oh man, that's good stuff. I remember that Big League Chew, man. You couldn't tell me nothing. I had the grape. I had all the flavors, man. The fruit punch, the watermelon. I mean, hey, it's funny, man. You know, again, I grew up in Jersey. We talk about Nana stories. I'm gonna keep it on my grandfather real quick, man, just because he's heavy on my heart. But I grew up on 12 Surrey Lane, which was in Sayreville, New Jersey. I moved from Jersey when I was 12, but we were on about 3 acres, 3/4 of an acre of land, and there was this huge oak tree in the back. And I had on a vest, and on this vest jacket, and on the back of the vest jacket was this little silver hook, like a little chain, right? I call myself climbing this tree in this vest. The vest was zipped up, man. And I messed around and slipped, and the hook caught on to a piece of the tree. So I was sitting there in this vest all like this, and I'm screaming. And my grandfather comes around the corner, man. He had to have been about 70. He had to have been at least 75 years old at this point. And as soon as he cut the cord, he just bust out laughing because he saw me hanging from this tree. And he saw that I was in distress, but I wasn't hurt. And he came up to me and he unzipped it, and I fell out. But to me, you would have thought that I was drowning and everything else. I was hollering. I was just hollering. And to your point, when it comes to traumatic, the way you were traumatized with gum, I don't wear vests anymore. Like I don't want nothing to do with no vest. If I look at a vest, when I wore that vest for that photo shoot in that 3-piece suit, I was shivering. I promise you, I was like, oh man. So anyway, man, that's my traumatic situation. What about you, Kirk?
I'm gonna use my brother, man. My brother was 5 years younger, man. But my brother, man, I got in trouble, but it was slick trouble. I had talk game. I could get out of it. But we lived with my grandmother, man, and she was spiritual, man. Like seriously, like every answer was God. Grandma, what we have for dinner? God. I mean, just like literally everything. So my brother, though, man, he didn't care, bro. So he gets in trouble at school for calling somebody a bitch, right? I've never heard my grandmother cuss in my life. He gets home and she don't spank people, but when she spanks you, she cries. Man, she chased him around the streets, man, with a belt, man, talking about the bitch, man. I still can remember it, man. But my grandma, it's funny because she didn't stand for it. And I really appreciate that now. I didn't know how much anybody who grew up with their grandma, that wisdom. I appreciate it so much now more than ever, man. It really stuck with me as a man. So,
indeed. Jay, did you give you a funny moment?
Yeah, man, I'm gonna have to go back to the early '90s. I was coming into my own. My testosterone was getting the best of me, and these were the days where you didn't have the beauty of, whatever you could imagine from your cell phone. And I remember one day I had gone into my father's room, and there was a couple videos at the bottom of a dresser drawer with the clothes laid out on top, and I was a curious child, and 56K modem couldn't quite do it in those days. And I watched the video a time or two, but I always made sure to rewind it to that exact moment where I started. And there was one day where I forgot to rewind, and I left it in my VCR to where my mom caught me and started asking a lot of questions about this particular tape, by which I couldn't just rat out my father, but well, it's his. And my dad went in with me on the lie that I got it from one of my homeboys. That was probably one of the funniest moments I ever had. It's like, I know it's his, he knows it's his, but he looked out for me on that day. That would have been a whooping day in any other situation, but it was a cool moment in time for myself.
Oh yeah, man, that's good stuff. And arguably a bonding moment between son and dad, right? if I'm hearing this correctly, over a porno, right? So, if I'm hearing this correctly, right? We never really put it out there. It's okay. We done said bitch, we done said pussy, we can say porn, right? So,
You watch porn at 7 years old, JC? Golly.
No, man, I was a good 12, 13, man. I was my prime, I guess.
I can dig it, man. So if you're just tuning in, man, this is the Bro Coach Show. We're talking about all things dope dads. And we got the squad on the line, man. We got my man Random Rowe, my man Genius Jones, and of course my man Bro Kirk and Bro Smith. So real quick, fellas, we talk about that why, man. We talk about the reason why we do things, whether that be from a purpose perspective, a personal perspective, a joyous perspective, whatever makes us happy. And then we use words such as legacy in the conversation. As dope dads, we dare to wake up every day believing that we are making a difference, whether it be within the household or within the community or with anybody that we meet on a daily basis. And indeed, we are dope dads, right? We celebrate the fact that we wake up with that tenacity, with that energy. But I'm curious, man, I want to hear from you guys about a moment of really what that looks like to you, like from your life experience. What are the rewards? What are the things that come from taking on the audacity to be a dope dad? So Rob, I'm gonna start with you, man. If you don't mind, man, like what is that? I'm gonna start with Sherod, right? Sherod, I'm curious, man. What does that look like to you? Like, what are the benefits? Because you do a lot, man. Like you've taken on the Papa Joe. What's the hood do with the tattoos on his face? Big Murr, right? You producing, but you have 3 boys, man. You got a wife. Like you fourth in line on the totem pole. Like there's people that come before you, bro. So when you take on those type of responsibilities, man, what are the rewards of that for you?
Man, first, it's a priority, man. Prioritization, man. Make sure everything that's important comes and is treated with importance. And just seeing so much of my influence, not necessarily just them being able to see me and resemble and reflect on what I do. Not necessarily what I say, but being able just for them to see me and resemble themselves after me, really, man. And having the time cut out. All of us do a lot of different things, but you got to make time for what's important for sure. So being able to teach them and see them grow as I'm growing. Because I was a father at 20 years old, my first kid. I had 3 kids by the age of 25. 2008, 2010, 2013. So I was a dad before I was a man. If that makes sense. Like I just started learning how to be a man. I was a dad first before I was anything else. before I was a husband. So, you know, really just seeing them and my fingerprint on them, and watching them grow as they watch me grow and help me grow as well, man. So just those moments we share, how the last 10 years of our lives have connected, and not necessarily what I've used to put fear into them, but what they learned from me by just watching. Like, I didn't say that to you, but you saw me do those things, and therefore you resembled yourself after me. So seeing them pick up that stuff in little small nuggets, man, that's why we gotta watch how we move, so they when they watch us move, they'll see us moving in the right direction. So that's the big commitment.
Yeah,
That's
man,
dope.
I could dig that, man. Daring to be a reflection, to mirror. And you know, I tell kids all the time, man, I want to be like you. Nah, man, be better than me, bro.
Mm-hmm.
You know, use this as a springboard to do way better things than this. You know, so I can really dig that, man. You know, we use the phrase "kids raising kids," right? And you said something, Sherod. You know, of you being a young father and really still trying to figure it out. You know, and really trying to find your way. But owning up to the responsibility enough to say, you know what, man, everything that I do, they're watching. So regardless of my age, my actions have to speak louder than my words, man. And you know, that sense of maturity is if I can dare to add value to, is a reason why you're a dope dad, right? So I can dig that, man. I'm gonna come to you, Ro, but Kirk, man, you know, you're a girl dad. Well, not a girl dad. You've got more girls than you do boys. But you know, what does that mean to you, man? I know we've had some conversations, Kirk, where we don't have it all together, and we don't now. Certainly didn't then, but we don't now. And accountability and owning up to that. You know, what are some of the? I'm curious from your perspective, Kirk. You know, what are some of the rewards of you taking on the responsibility of being a dope dad and owning?
So to piggy off about what Genius said, I had my first at 19 also. Bro, you have no idea. Not only did I have mine at 19, I didn't have a version in front of me. My dad wasn't in my home. So I had no idea what I was doing other than to figure it out. With three daughters, I had 4 kids by 26, right? But having daughters is a little bit different, man, because there's a different level of protection for your daughters you want to provide than maybe your son. I think I could naturally parent him. I knew what that felt like. I had no idea for my daughters. And I'm gonna be honest, man, I got it wrong. Now they had an amazing mom, so that's great. But as a dad, man, you just want to provide. Because I know for me, I didn't want knuckleheads coming around doing what I was trying to do at that young age. So I was always trying to get them game. One of the biggest keys, though, is that as an adult man who's figuring it out, I went back, and I'm now going back, and I'm reparenting them from where I'm at now, telling them some of the things that maybe I showed them, or even some of the things I did in my marriage. Hey, that shouldn't be done that way. And it's really brought a different level of respect and love in our relationship.
Man, that's good stuff, man. Like being able to own those things and then daring to say, you know what, I'm gonna reach back. Because we're all in different places, not just you, but our children as well, right? They've gotten older. They live in a world that's more accessible, right? Like we didn't have Siri, Alexa, and Google Home when we were 12, you know. So it was either in an encyclopedia, Uncle Joe, or maybe potentially somebody on the corner somewhere. I don't know, depending on the lifestyle that you live, right? So nonetheless, man, I want to go to you, Rob. Like, you know, I know you're taking it all in because you too are a girl dad, right? So when you talk about that level of protection or wanting to almost shroud to say, no, I'm not going to, you can't leave the house, maybe even a room till you're 18 and you pass the test. But you know, when it comes to being a dope dad, man, what's the rewards for you?
Same. I mean, just to kind of echo the points that Genius and also Captain Kirk said, man. Listen, I'm a girl that 110%. You know what I'm saying? So, like you were just saying, my number one thing is protection. Like, I don't want me at that age to reach my daughter at her age, if that makes sense. You know, so with me, but I'll be honest with you, man, with me being a girl dad it's allowed me to be vulnerable as a man. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can honestly say that if I had boys, I probably would have been the same as I was, you know what I'm saying, up until that point in which I had a girl. You know what I'm saying? I didn't have my daughter until I was 27. I mean, I still wasn't technically a man's man, but I was far enough along to whereas I had lived a little bit, right? But that kind of just threw my world into a complete 180, you know, to the point that now I'm like, I feel like I'm too soft. You know what I'm saying? Like I can cry at the drop of a hat. It's nothing. Yo, I see something sentimental on TV, and I'm like, oh man, like what's happening? Yo, who's cutting onions? Like what's going on? But honestly, man, just being a dope dad, man, just honestly to me means vulnerability. It's that V word, right? Putting your kids first and foremost, even if it means, because I feel like once you have kids, your life is essentially over. You start to live vicariously through your kids. You know what I'm saying? And more importantly, being like a girl dad, you know, I want to hold her hand as long as I possibly can. Like literally, I want to hold her hand as long as I possibly can, man. Like even to this day, man, like I'll still, I mean, I drive her to school now, but I drive her to school every morning. I go pick her up every morning. You know what I'm saying? When she was a younger baby, I would literally walk her up to the classroom every single day. I was there I never wanted her to feel like she wasn't protected. You know what I'm saying? And with that came a lot of vulnerability in my state, because now she literally just left to go with one of her best friends to do a sleepover. And now all I can think, like, yo, text me when you get there. Like, are you there? Are you there? That's why you guys kind of see me looking down. I'm texting her like, are you guys there? Are you? So that never really leaves. So that, but you know, that's also she's my kryptonite, but I'm her superpower, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I can dig that, man. I really can, and that's good stuff. And fellas, all of us have had the conversation as it pertains to vulnerability and how at one time it wasn't really looked at as a superpower or something that can be an added value to a relationship, or just figuring out more about ourselves and what makes us happy, what makes us sad, and how to process things. And I think that's a great point too, man. You talked about what we would consider potentially little things that make a huge difference. And one of the words we talk about all the time, gentlemen, is consistency. Consistency. You know, consistency will always be key. But, you know, Ro, it was recently, man, you put up a post that was speaking to that exact same thing, man. And I want to take a moment, man, just to celebrate that moment when we talk about sharing special moments with our children. Right. Oftentimes I say live life in moments, not minutes, because it's the memories that really hold on. And I can definitely, that speaks true to me, especially right now. But I want to play this short video, and we'll be right back.
He's definitely a very, very big person in my life. You know, every morning he walks me up to the doors to school, you know, just little things that really impact me, or every day after he picks me up, how was your day? You know, never missing a step, even if he's having a bad day. You know, he's always there, every concert, every practice, always there, picking me up from school. You know, it's definitely a very good experience of how he shows me who a man really needs to be.
I love that.
How I really need to kind of learn that people respect you and need to really show you how, he really shows me how a gentleman is supposed to act and how a father needs to be, and how just he's a very inspirational person to me, especially with his business and all these amazing, incredible things that he's doing. It's just, it impacts me so much, and just
I'm about to start crying now.
Now get your tissues, baby. Get your tissues right here, man.
Crying now.
I knew when he started looking at the ground, it was over.
Yeah. Well, now you know what got me when he started rubbing his hands. When he started rubbing his hands, I said, "Here we go." I know that moment. You know, we either start to rub our legs or we start to rub our hands, right? Because we start to be overwhelmed. So I could dig that, bro.
Yeah, man, and it's crazy, man, because that particular video, man, we were doing that was 3 years ago. So we were doing a video shoot and commercial video shoot and photo shoot for a Father's Day calendar. And my daughter was, obviously she was there, but we were taking some additional photos just for her and I. She just happened to be with me on the set or whatever. And the young lady said, "Well, do you mind if I interview your daughter?" So I had no idea what she was about to say. Like, I had no idea in that moment. I'm just thinking, okay, well, how's it feel to be, you know, fun dad? How do you feel today about doing a photo shoot with your dad? Yada, yada, yada. So the very first question that she asked my daughter is, well, what is the relationship like with you and your dad, like how do you feel about your dad? And what she said was, it moved me in such a way, even if right now, if I'm watching that video, like I literally started to tremble, man, because in that moment, you don't realize the impact in which you have on your child. You don't realize the things that they pick up on. You know what I'm saying? Like me, I take pride in walking into the classroom every single day, but I don't know that that means anything to her. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just like, dad, go away. You know what I'm saying? Like I got this. I'm grown. You know what I'm saying? But no, like she reveled in those moments, and she remembered those moments. She said, well, you know, he shows me how father's supposed to be, show me how gentleman's supposed to be. So it's in those moments, man, to whereas I came alive, man, and it shakes me to my core every time I see that video. Then what happened was like a couple media sites got a hold of it. Then Miss Monique reposted it, and the joint just like, out of here. Yeah,
those are the reflections that we need more of, man. So we celebrate that, man. You know, that's what it's really all about. I got to give a shout out to Lori, man. I saw Lori twice last week. We don't believe in coincidence. I was over at the Honeycomb Hideout, aka the office, and of course we got the van is graffitied out, so it's kind of really hard to there go Troy right there, right? So anyway, nonetheless, man, Lori rolled up on me, and it was right at the right time too, man. You know, I don't believe in coincidence, man. But shout out to Lori, man. Lori says, man, hey, y'all, so many dope individuals in one place. We got 6 black hearts. I appreciate that, Lori. Then she says, I have to say, I see all of you, and you guys are truly dope dads. Also grateful for the guidance that you have provided me directly or indirectly. Thank you all for your dopeness. So, man, much love to you, Lori, man. We love you like cooked food. Biscuit on the side with some dessert, 2 helpings. So nonetheless, man, you're here checking in here with the Bro Code Show. Kirk, what you got, man?
Yeah, man, I appreciate that. Rob, love the video, bro. Real talk.
Thank you, bro.
I watched it like 12 times. I'm not gonna lie. You know, but let's talk a little bit about black culture. Everybody on here pretty much is black dads. So that's all we can speak about. I believe we shouldn't speak about things we haven't lived. And there's this notion out there, this narrative that being vulnerable is weak. Now, I remember growing up, right? Rob, you have a thing that real men wear pink. Well, growing up, that wasn't a thing. I also remember being as a child where I got hurt and I was told, yo, you better not cry. And that doesn't stop. So that trauma that goes into the black culture is a real thing. And I'll be honest, I didn't really get out of that until my 40s. And I still see it in the young black men that we all deal with now in so many different levels, be it, you know, young men and some grown men that say, yo, that's weak. I'm not doing that. That's trash. But real talk, it's really a real problem in our community. I really want to hear what you guys all personally think about that. Now, my vote is yo, the emotions that I feel, I'm not going to be a punk. I'm going to be out there crying everywhere I go. But when I'm in a space of safety, you know, I'm telling you how I feel because this is how I feel. And that's just real. That's the realness of me. And I believe that's a strength. So I'm gonna start with JC. What do you think, JC?
Man, you know, we just got off last month's topic talking about health as well. And for me, you know, all throughout 2020, the pandemic had some good and bad, but it forced me to kind of be with me, you know, and, you know, not as much as connecting with people outdoors, but really kind of learn who I am and why I do certain things and trying to get my own head together. And, you know, and I reached out to some people, you know, I connected with some people we even talked to on the show is saying, you know, I might need to kind of get a lot of this off my chest. And I can't talk to my parents about it. I can't talk to my girl about it. And so I'd say I'm thankful that you said the whole 40s thing. I'm creeping on it, but I'm just now starting to tap a lot more into my vulnerabilities and, you know, and figure out a lot of me, you know, it's taking some time and it's going to be a process, but I'm just now kind of coming into that zone.
We can appreciate that. And I want to say this too, a part I left out is a lot of us black men are only doing it because we believe that's what women want. And I've interviewed or asked a lot of women and the answer has been unanimous. They don't want that. They want a fella that, you know, provides a protection and security, but also taps into that emotion and will be real about what he's feeling. So that's what I keep hearing from the women. Genius, what do you feel about this?
I feel like for so many years and generations, we masked it. You know what I'm saying? We mask it because shoot, you know, I came from an era where like you didn't cry, you did some push-ups. Like, man, stop being a punk, man. Go do some push-ups, man. You know what I'm saying? Go get active. Go lift some weight. Go do something men's supposed to do. But me being in that mental health space taught me to learn, you know, whether you choose to take it head on or not. That's why mental health is such a big thing. I think we've been masking our emotions and not letting them out. And we're teaching our kids that, and we don't get that emotion out. So we get 40 years old, we ain't cried 20 years. So now somebody cut you off of the traffic light, you ready to go. You know what I'm saying? You had a boiling place where you haven't let out those emotions. I think we continue to mask that, but I believe, you know, it's something that you still have to go towards. I mean, it's nothing. I'm kind of getting towards. I'm 33 now, getting towards seeing that more so often. I think if men see men do it more, I think it provides that range. And you know, so men being vulnerable and in a space like this, it allows everybody to be vulnerable, man. You know what I'm saying? So me seeing Rob cry down, like, man, you know, I ain't cried in a minute. I need to go, you know, open up. When I feel it, stop trying to hold it back. You know, because it's a natural feeling. We need to stop masking it and really embrace it and talk about it head on.
You know, I love that. I'm glad you brought up the mental health piece of it. And Rob, you're a big proponent for mental health. It was at one of our barbershops. I think it was probably our much touching barbershop that I can remember where a young man opened up when we talk about mental health. But Rob, I'd love to hear, you know, I've seen you already cry on video, so I kind of think I know, but I would love to hear what you think about this. And Troy, right after that, go ahead and pick it back off his answer.
Yeah, man, I absolutely agree about the mental health space, man. I think JC said mental health. I think you said health is wealth. You guys had a segment on that. And then Sherod just kind of touched on the mental health space, period, man. As you alluded to, I'm huge in that mental health realm, man. Like, to me, I always say mental health is your greatest investment, right? We invest a lot, especially as Black culture, Black men, more importantly. We invest in everything else. We can invest in the stock market. We can buy the new J's. We can be fresh. We can get the latest whip. We can buy the biggest house. But here we're lacking. You know what I'm saying? And our mind is the strongest muscle that we have. You know, we only use, what, 9% of the brain? So it's a whole 93%, you know what I'm saying, or 91% of our brain that just goes untapped. I'm only saying that to say that's a lot with these generational things, that these gaps and these chains that we haven't broken. That's where they kind of like reside in that space. So like Sherod said, someone cuts you off in traffic, you go from 0 to 1,000 just like that, and it wasn't that quote unquote serious. You know what I'm saying? And so you can't understand why you walking around with this dark space with this dark cloud over your head, man. I feel like I said, but I also feel like if I didn't have my daughter, I would still be in that space, because I would have never learned. I probably would have never. It wouldn't have been a woman of the opposite sex, meaning intimately, that I would have learned that from. It had to come from someone younger, meaning like my daughter, you know, that would have broken that chain for me. Because now, like you see, I mean, I feel like that's why I reposted that video. Like I said, the video was 3 years ago, but that's why I reposted that video, because I feel like, you know, as a man's man, which I feel like I am, if someone sees me do that, then they'll be like, okay, well, maybe it's okay to release that, because I was feeling that too. And if you notice, I don't know if you're looking in the comments, most of the comments on that video are men. You know what I'm saying? The women are going to like it because you showing that vulnerable side. But most of it is men, like, oh, man, respect, bro. I'm glad you're doing this. Like, man, I be feeling the same way about my kids. I hope my kids say the same thing. So we're yearning for that. We just have to get in a comfortable enough space so we can release. But yeah, it's definitely a mental space, man. And as a Black culture, it's taboo, man, to even talk about mental health, you know, because it's like, nah. We don't do that. That's for white people. That's crazy talk. We don't do that. The whole while we're hurting, and we're hurting bad, bro. So I mean, I love spaces like this, and like, you know, I want to monopolize this, but like I said, I'm huge on that. So if there's ever a situation to whereas I'm able to talk about it, I speak passionately about it, because especially as men, 40 plus, soon to be 40, bro, we've done a whole lot of living. So we ain't got but this much time left, you know. But I don't know, man. You gotta continue to live out your dash in the best way possible, bro. But that's my take on it.
Yeah, I really could dig that too, man. If I could piggyback off what you're speaking of, it is a mental space. And I do sometimes think about that as well, man. Like, man, with the time that I do have left, though we don't know what that is,
Right.
really wanting to make the most use of it and take the experiences, all the right, wrong, and different, good, bad, and ugly, and make it better for the next generation, the next person, man. So all of us heard this one, man. My heart don't pump no Kool-Aid. And that very phrase right there has gotten me into some crazy, crazy stuff, man. So much so, man, that brashness, that I'm harder than nails mentality has really could have taken me out many times, bro.
Right.
You know, and really has burned bridges, blown them up, destroyed them, dismantled them, put acid on them. And has dismantled a lot of things that could have really been negated. Had there been someone in your life that can speak that life that we talk about, right? If there was somebody in our lives that allowed us to see things from a different perspective. And for me, that's why it's so important for that other lens to be shown. Now, it hasn't been celebrated in my life until later on in life, more so in marriage, because it wasn't about me anymore. You know, it wasn't about me. So for me, I was, I don't want to say pressured, but almost forced to reflect and acknowledge the hurt from my past. I was forced to really dissect the why of why I act certain ways, because now to your point, Kirk, and Sherod, I'm sure you can agree, it's not about you anymore. You got wife, 3 kids, working on another one. You're like 4th or 5th on the totem pole, but you're in a position where you're supposed to be chief priest, protector, and provider for the home, and you still ain't figured it out for yourself yet. You know, so it really took the strength of my wife to allow me to be vulnerable, and it was needed. So we're talking about tissues and locked doors, and you know, hey, we need to talk about this, not now, but right now. And it wasn't until those moments happened that I learned to appreciate it. And it became a piece of me that now is looked at more as a superpower, or something that can be appreciated rather than suppressed, and maybe blown up in another conversation or relationship. So yeah, man, I'm really thankful that now it really can be used to empower and inspire others, and in the work that we do, just the conversations that we have amongst each other. So really quickly, man, and for those who are checking in, man, you're talking with the Bro Code Show. We're talking about dope dads, man. We've talked about a few things, y'all. Like we got to take a pause for the calls real quick, man. Pay the bills. Shout out to our sponsors, the barbershop. We'll be right back after this short commercial break.
Are you looking for a barbershop that provides luxury grooming services in a safe, clean environment, and that also gives back to the community? Well, look no further. The Barbershop is the place for you. We're currently looking for new members. We have a location here in Raleigh, and we have a future location coming soon in Wake Forest, North Carolina. If you'd like to be a member or just give us the opportunity to serve you, please visit our website, thebarbershopnc.com. See you soon.
What's up? What's up? What's up? You're back on the Bro Code Show. And we're talking to the squad, man, the homies, the bros, about all things dope dads, man. So we talked about some moments of reflection, and even how vulnerability became a superpower for us. Now, if you have any questions or comments for the bros or some of our guests, some of these dope dads, we encourage you to drop them in the chat so we can get to you, man, and shout you out. Speaking of comments, man, Lori says, hey, one of the best barbershops in town. Shout out to Reggie. Reggie is definitely indeed dope, man. Shout out to Reggie and Jessica, man. We love y'all like cook food, man. Speaking of such, just recently we got a chance to connect with Reggie with his nonprofit Grow, which stands for Grooming Resources and Opportunity, using their hands, using their gifts of tonsorial arts to give a piece of pride, not just through a haircut, but also through education, man. So shout out to Reggie, man. Love you, bro. What else we got here? Lori says vulnerability is becoming the new norm, especially concerning our men. So we definitely advocate for that, man. Definitely advocate for that. So I'm curious, fellas, man. Growing up, man, we've heard sayings such as if so and so jumped off a bridge, would you jump off a bridge too? Now, all of us have heard a variation of that one, but we've heard it, right? We've also heard this one, man, because I said so, right? And this one, unfortunately, I have heard. I always, but it says if you do it and you get caught and you go to jail, you're gonna spend the night. So, whatever variation that you heard as a child of that, now that we're older, man, we have kids, nieces, nephews of our own. I'm curious, man, what's something that you heard when you were a kid that you swore you would never say to kids, but you find yourself saying it to your kids or kids in general, whether it be your nieces, nephews, or those that we serve? So, Rod, Mr. Funny Man, I'm gonna start with you, man. What's something that you heard Mom Dukes or Papa Dukes say that you were like, yo, man, when I get older, I ain't never gonna say that. But you find yourself saying it now.
I would say besides the most popular one I can remember off the top of my head is I just had it in my mind. Golly. I can show you better than I can tell you. That's part. I use that daily.
Yeah. You got 3 boys. I'm quite sure that would happen.
Yeah. I'm knocking heads off over here. It's old school over here. Open hand.
Oh yeah. You looking like
I'm still coming.
Looking like Papa Jones off of Boondock.
Yeah, I'm still coming. I'm going for throats and eyes.
Good stuff, Kirk. How about you, man? What's something, man, that you thought you'd never say, man, but now you say it, then you laugh at yourself?
Most of mine is around food, man. Like, you gonna eat that food. Like man, food, man. Like, I don't know about y'all, but man, I go to the grocery store, it's $100. I don't come out, it's $100. And then just to watch them waste and stuff, like, yo, you gonna eat all that. So, I really appreciate my mom, because she did it all by herself, bro. It's a whole other level. So yeah.
I could dig that too. And if you're not gonna eat it, put it in the microwave. It'll be there for your next meal. Stop playing with me. I can dig it, man. I can dig it. What you think, Rob? What's good, man? What's something that you find yourself like, dang, Nana used to say that, bro?
Mine is without a shadow of a doubt because I said so. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. Well, Troy, you have a little girl. So being a girl dad, once they get to a certain age, everything is why. Why? They need further clarification. You don't need no damn clarification. Do it. Like and I catch myself every time. She'll be like, well, why, Daddy? Why did you say that? Or what's going on? And honestly, she can really just want to know what's the purpose behind me having to do this right in this moment. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, because I said do it right in this moment with no resistance, no talk. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like Mr. M-I-S-T-E-R, do it. You know what I'm saying? But it's definitely because I said, I'm laughing now because I just said that to her right before she left. And I was like, yo, just call me. I said, just text me whenever you get there. She was like, but Daddy, I'm about to leave. I said, text me when you get there. So it's different variations, but it's the same thing, man.
I can dig that. Absolutely. JC, what you think, man? What's something that still lingers?
Oh man, for me, it's a variation of pick up your pants. Whether it's they do make belts or you have to show your drawers. It's some variation of why are you sagging? Pick up your pants.
I can dig that one, man. Now, you guys always hear me reference my grandparents. That's one of the things that drew and was a commonality for me and Euro. But you guys heard me say this 50 million times, man. It's a poor frog can't praise his own farm. And well, that meant absolutely nothing to me. I had no clue. What are you talking about, Grandma? I ain't no frog and I ain't got no pond. But I've really come to realize and understand what she was saying. And I often catch myself saying this to the kids that we serve when it comes to using your voice and speaking up about you. You know, if anybody should be able to speak positively about you, it's you. But yeah, that was definitely something some of the old folks would say, if you may. So we got the people laughing. As Lori, I see, man. Lori, you talking about the food too. It says if you don't eat this, then you don't eat. You just have to figure it out. But it'll be here when you figure it out. So. Hey, what up, Ricky? Ricky was laughing. I think he was laughing at you, Ro. I think he went back to Color Purple when he was having a flashback. Yeah. Hey, CP, man, love you like cool, man. I know you couldn't make it tonight, man. Many blessings to you and the family, man. Prayers of comfort. But he says, what up, fellas? It's gonna hurt me more than it hurts you. You know that was the biggest lie ever. It don't hurt you. It don't until I lift my arm up in the belt. Pass back. Right. You get a taste of your own medicine, man. That's what's up. JC, what you got, bro?
Oh man, that was pretty much it. I know we got like 2-3 minutes. I don't know, Kirk, if you want to wrap it up, or if everyone kind of want to go around and.
I got a question.
What you got?
So I'm not a girl dad, right? But
you're not.
The thing is that the girl dads, the men that got girls. There used to be some womenizers back in the day. And I want to know if that's true or not. Oh, y'all got girls. I want to know if it's true or not. Did y'all used to be womenizers? Y'all gigolos?
M-I-S-T-E-R. Mister. Listen, God has a crazy sense of humor. That's where that comes from. Because, yeah. So that thing, look, the thing we talked about protection, we'll protect them from ourselves at that age. Right. So yeah. So for me, it's true. I don't know about everybody else, but for me, yeah.
Kirk, like it's true.
I don't want to say I was a womanizer, but you know, I got around a few blocks. I thought I did pretty well with the ladies, right? And I don't want me around them. To my daughters, no, that like, look, don't do that. That don't work. Don't go for that stuff. But you know, man, wow. But it was fun at the time, man. It ain't fun now when it happened to you. It ain't fun when it happened to you.
You got 3 daughters, Kirk, so you must have been real good.
Yeah, but I mean, for me, I was. I'm gonna shout out Ricky, man. Ricky says he has all girls, and he was a horror. He wasn't even a hoe. He was a horror. Like, he took the E out and put 2 R's and an O-R in it. Like he already knew reflectively, like all this is coming full circle. You know.
Can we agree too? This is a real good conversation too. Is that look? How many girls you got? 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th grade. That was the thing. That's another thing in our culture we was taught. It was hard to break that.
Yeah.
I didn't really break out of that until in my 20s.
You right?
I thought you were about to say 40.
Yeah, I thought you were about to say 40.
Yeah. You know that you mentioned about when you had your first kid, Rose, at 27, right?
27.
You know, I'm 41. I didn't get married until I was 31, right? 32, excuse me. So I waited a little while, and I needed that. Like I really would. What they say on Coming to America, you want to
show your royal oats, baby.
Yeah, man. You know, so we used to take that literally. And to your point, Kirk, it was like notches on the belt. You know, we were like, man, I get another notch. You know what I mean? So you're right. A lot of that stigma and that mindset, it hasn't changed. But the ages that stuff is happening is getting younger and younger and younger. You know, the accessibility of the information and the acceptance of the action of being a new norm, man. So anyway, man, we can talk about this all day, man. It's already been an hour, bro. Yeah. I'm curious, Kirk, man. Oh, we got to answer this. Lori has been watching. I think she got a question. She says, what advice do you have for dads who desire to be more vulnerable, but don't want to be perceived as soft, for lack of a better term? So I think we hit on it real quick, man. But I'm gonna let Kirk answer this, man. What you got, man? What's some advice that we could give to dads that desire to be a little bit more vulnerable, but don't want to be perceived as soft.
First of all, stop caring about what people think about you, because they really don't care. That's number one. And we've had this conversation in our group. And the best part about this group, and I think even outside of our group, the dudes we deal with, we allow each other to be that man, right? I remember standing out in the parking lot with Ro for about an hour after a barbershop, talking about all things this, bro. And not once did I feel his energy of judgment. It was like, yo, yeah, I feel you. And when you have that around, you know, men, that we check in with each other and all those things. So making sure you around some real dudes. I don't know how to put that, but y'all know what I'm talking about. It's important, man, because I don't want to be walking around with all this stress, falling over or dying because I don't talk about it. That's old. No, we better than that. So yeah.
Yeah, man, I can dig that. So circle definitely matters. Accountability, I think accountability circle matters. So it's one thing to have a circle, but it's another thing to have a circle that'll check you on. Right. You know, in love, kindness, all that good stuff. Like, yo, you know, I don't know about you, man, but it may be something you want to consider, man. You're moving a little bit differently, you know, and then the dope part is for it to be received. You know, not as a chink in the armor, but man, I love you for that, bro. I appreciate you. And you brought that up. You hit on a little bit, Ro, where you were like, man, I'm really big on those conversations and open to having them. And we've had them, you know, whether it was, you know, over the phone or, man, it's already been 2 hours. We sitting in this parking lot after an event because it was heavy on heart or mind. So, you know, I really appreciate that, man. Anybody else want to hit on that?
Yeah, I mean, I agree wholeheartedly, man. I think what do they say? Your chain is only as strong as your weakest link. So, I mean, at the end of the day, I feel like we empower one another. You know, empower people. So, if you empower with vulnerability, like attach yourself to someone that may struggle with that, or allow yourself to be attached to. You know what I'm saying? I think you just said it, Troy. Like a lot of times, we can say something to somebody, but it's not received in the way in which we need it to be, or in which they need it to be. You know what I'm saying? So I just think being vulnerable, man, is once you're in that space, it's like, damn, I should have been here the whole time because I'm lighter. You know what I'm saying? Like you become lighter. You're not as heavy. You're not walking around with this. You just walking around just sad all day. Like I don't know why I'm so heavy. So I mean, you got to release that, man. It just like Kirk said, man, we plenty of times we started talking about sneakers, but then we end up talking about life and, you know what I'm saying? Like, and then you look up at it, it's the next day. Like we you know what I'm saying? But you definitely have to surround yourself with people going in that direction, man, and people that are open to receiving what you have to offer, man. So I agree with that wholeheartedly.
Yeah, indeed. Did you, Genius, you got anything you want to hit on that, JC?
Yeah, just be human, man. You know, do the self-work. You know what I'm saying? Look inside yourself and do the self-work. And, you know, that strong circle, that foundation and the environment in which you place yourself in is key. So you place yourself in an environment of wisdom, then wisdom you will retain.
How about you, Jay? What you think, bro?
Oh, man, I can't top that, man. You all have hit on a number of good factors. Just be you is probably the best thing I would probably stick to.
Yeah, man. If Ricky, just to hit on your point real quick, man. Ricky talked about the betrayal. So, you know, you open up that space and you open up that space and then that space feels betrayed. If I could just tap on that really quickly, I can't say that that's never happened, but I don't know what I don't know. And just like anything else, being vulnerable comes with gifts and a curse, if you may. It comes with experiences that excel us, and it comes with experiences that we learn from. So I think discernment plays a huge role, and all of us are energy driven. We talk about that all the time. Like, energy is off. So you know, when you feel that energy, and I think using that as a way to flow your decision making, but not to a point where if it is betrayed or if it is hurt, that you don't try anymore. You become reclusive. Now that's easier said than done. I think that comes with ways to process, finding things that you love to do and doing those more regularly. So anyway, man, Kirk, man, wrap this thing in the bow, bro. Time to get on up out of here.
Yeah, this is an easy one for me. First of all, Rob, thank you for coming on the show, man. Appreciate who you are as a man. You know, without any of your talents and skills, just who you are as a man. Genius. The same thing. Love the comedy. Love what you bring out into the world, man. Glad that I'm a part of you too. So thank both of you for coming on the show. In closing, man, this is easy. Once you become a father, if you do it the right way, it's life-changing, because there's nothing more motivating than knowing that another human that you had something to do with in creating is counting on you. And so that's, for me, that keeps me motivated, man. My daughter the other day said, "Dad, I'm proud of you." Bro, I had to get out the room real quick. And that's really all I want from them, is I want them to be proud of the decisions I'm making now, right? And then they can mimic it in their lives. So shout out to all the dads out there, man. And the one thing I think we need to talk about maybe in our next show is simply, maybe you got off out of lane as a father, right? Get back in the lane, reach out to your kids, make that connection, man. I don't care how long it's been, it's still your child. And that's the responsibility of being a dope dad. So this is the Bro Code, and we appreciate it. Troy, back to you.
Hey, man, I couldn't have said it better myself, brother. So there you have it, man. Dope dads. We got my man, Robert McKiver, Genius Jones, and shout out to my man, CP, man. Love you like cooked food, Mr. Pinn's personality, man. So join us next week, man, for the big homies. We'll have my man, Lafayette Treywick and True Pettigrew. So join us next Sunday, June 13th at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on the Bro Code Show. For sure, man, if you already haven't, for those that are watching, go to our YouTube at YM4C TV, like, subscribe, hit that notification button. Also help us build our Instagram. Go to @BroCodeShow. As always, man, we always got to leave you with some positivity, man, and this show is no different. So we certainly appreciate this quote. It says, "Dad, a son's first hero, a daughter's first love." So it's your boy, Bro Troy, a.k.a. Mr. YM4C, better known as Coach TJ, and we are the Bro Code.